pass you dry. Do you know I'm looking? And I can't help but smile. Do you know how much I love you? You put my favorite song on, I put my feet up, and we just sing along. And I can't help but feeling, just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment.
Hey guys, welcome back to the vlog. You may have noticed that it's been a minute since I posted a video. It is not for lack of effort. I just cannot seem to find the time. So I have been pulling out my camera every day and attempting to vlog, but life just keeps getting in the way. So I thought I had a minute out by myself. I've been driving most of the day, that I would just kind of give you guys an update and let you guys know where we're at and how things are going. So we are in Michigan. Some of you might have guessed that. And we are here visiting family and friends. So we are not in the city that we used to live in, but we're just outside of it, a half hour at a campground. We're at the same campground that we stayed at last year when we came to visit too. And we really enjoy it. We actually made some really great friends at this campground last year when we were here, and all of those friends have come back and they're all staying. In fact, like one family, another large family is right next door to us, in the site next door to us. So the kids are thriving. They are having a blast. They are busy all the time. I think when I left my house just a little bit ago to drive Malachi and Bella to their friend's house, I think there was 15 kids in the bunk room in our camper, and they were just having so much fun. And that's pretty much what they do from the time they wake up until we force them to call it a night at the end of the night. So they've been having a blast, and that is a lot of fun to see, especially since, you know, traveling. There's been places where we knew people and they had friends, but not all of the kids have had someone everywhere. And here, everyone has someone. So that's been a lot of fun. It's been great, like connecting. I feel like I have just sort of been in, I don't want to say like a slump, because I'm happy and I'm having a great time. Everywhere we've been, we've really had a good time. I think I'm just like really starting to feel the effects of being on the road for 2.5 months. It's definitely different than when we were traveling full time. When we traveled full time, you know, if, like say if we were going from Texas to Montana like we did this year and last year, we would, you know, drive maybe 7-8 hours on a Saturday, and then we would stay in a location for a week, and then we would do that the following Saturday. So because we were living that lifestyle, we weren't in a hurry to get anywhere. So we would just plan our trips, and if it took us a month to get from one destination to the next, it wasn't a big deal. Whereas now that we are renting a home in Knoxville and paying for that while we are also on the road for 3 months, we are obviously trying to cram as much stuff and you know, visits with people as possible into this period of time. So that for us has looked like just a lot of driving. So we've been driving, you know, every time we switch destinations, basically we are driving Friday from the moment Mike gets off work until usually 11-12 at night on Friday. We're getting up usually 6-7 o'clock on Saturday morning, putting in another 12-14 hours, getting in late, you know, wherever we're boondocking Saturday night, repeating the process on Sunday, and then usually arriving at some point on Sunday at our new location. And then we go right back into the work week and, you know, just normal life stuff. So, and then on top of that, because we're visiting people, you know, usually every night we're getting together and doing meals with people and things like that, which is a blast. And I don't want to sound like I'm complaining, because I realize how fortunate we are to be able to do this, just to have the freedoms to do it, to have the finances to do it, to have the camper, you know, that allows our entire family to go on these trips. It's such a huge blessing, and I am truly thankful for it. I think just because we have crammed so much in, I think that at each location I get a little bit more worn out because we're not really, there's no downtime like there was before. You know, when we would stop between destinations for a week before, we would have normal life and work and stuff like that, but in the evenings we weren't doing anything, so we had time to like just recuperate and rest and put your feet up and all of that. And there hasn't been much of that in the last 2.5 months, and I'm just starting to feel that, you know. So anyway, we are having a great time. We have been here for, let's see, almost a week. We have we have about 2 weeks left here, and then we will be heading back to Knoxville. So while I'm sad to see it all come to an end, I am looking forward to just like normal routines and things like that again, and being able to have a little bit of rest. Although when we get back, Bella is starting, her volleyball is starting, and so, you know, we'll be in the swing of that, but it won't be every night, and there will be more space and more, I think, just order and things like that, which I thrive with order, you know. And so we're doing the best we can. Today was just a frustrating day. I had a doctor's appointment that was about an hour away. I have been on a medication for like a month and a half, and this medication, because of the kind of medication it is, I can only, like, if I leave the state where it was prescribed, I can't get it filled in another state. So I hopefully that makes sense. I don't really understand it, but so knowing that, I had set up an appointment several weeks back for here in Michigan so that I could go to the doctor here. And we have, because my husband owns his own business, we have like it's not regular health insurance, it's like a medical sharing program. And it's just been difficult to find doctors that accept it, and it can often take longer. So I set this up weeks in advance to have this appointment today. I drove an hour to get to that appointment, and when I made the appointment, like, we got their information off of our insurance card company's website. So when I made the appointment, I verified that they took our insurance, all of that. I set the appointment for a few weeks out, knowing we would be here. So anyway, we drove there an hour today, and then I sat there for half an hour in the waiting room. I was the only person there, and then they finally called me up after, you know, I had given them my driver's license and insurance card and all of that when we got there, or when I got there. And then a half hour later, they call me up and tell me, oh, we're sorry, we don't actually take your insurance. Oh, you guys. I was like, what? And I told her, I said, I called when I made the appointment, and I verified that you guys took it and all that. And she just said, yeah, well, I don't know who you talked to. And I'm thinking, well, this is a pretty small office, so it was probably one of the two of you. But anyway, it was very frustrating. She told me I could go ahead and see the doctor, but it was going to be like all cash prices, which was a couple $100 just to like see the doctor, and then you know, whatever else from there. So I'm sitting in my car so I can actually talk to you guys, and now it just started raining, so hopefully you can still hear me. But it was just very frustrating, so I wound up leaving, and I was probably like not the nicest person, and I just, you know, it was just like one of those things. So now I'm not really sure, because I probably will not be able to get another appointment in the 2 weeks that we're here, and I will be without the medication, which is not like life or death stuff. It's just frustrating. So, and then from there, I was like, I brought the camera when I left this morning, because I knew that I was going to be near our old house, and I thought, oh, it would be so fun to show you guys, like drive by and show you guys our old house and our property. And I pulled out the camera and turned it on, and it didn't turn on. And so I looked, and the battery was gone. And so my husband, he thought that, oh, you guys aren't going to be able to hear me. Okay, I think it slowed down enough where maybe you guys could hear me. I didn't think you'd be able to hear me with all of that rain, so it just like started downpouring. Anyway, I went to grab my camera, and I turn it on, and it doesn't turn on. So I open it up, and there's no battery, and so I called my husband, and he had been trying to be sweet and help me out, and he saw that the battery was in the camera, so he put it on the charger so it could be ready for me when I needed it. And I didn't know that, and he didn't know that the battery was already charged, and I had loaded it into the camera so that it was ready to go for me today. So long story short, I had a camera and I didn't have a battery. So I did go ahead and film on my phone. I'm not sure how good that'll turn out, but I'll put that in here. The drive to our old house and the property in the house, just so you guys can kind of see that. I don't know, I drove by it once last year, and then and last year, like, I felt a little sad when I drove by it, and this year I didn't feel anything. Like, they had changed a few things outside, and you know how I think when that happens, like, you sort of disconnect from it, like, you realize, like, oh yeah, that's not ours anymore, you know. And so I guess that was a good thing. It was interesting to see it, but it didn't make me feel any certain way, you know. I don't miss living in Michigan. I mean, we lived here for 20 years and we enjoyed it, and there's things I like about it, and obviously there's people that we love very much here, and I miss that. I think, and I'm okay with change, so like, I don't mind, you know, a new house or whatever. I think what I miss is having a home that belongs to us and having a property where we can do things. And I love projects and home decor and all of that stuff, and you can only do so much of that in a rental because you don't own it, you know, and you don't want to spend that kind of time and effort and money on something that doesn't belong to you or is not going to belong to you for the long haul. So I think that's what I miss more than anything. But anyway, so that's kind of where we've been. I still want to get a video out for you guys tomorrow, as I promised I would. And so what I thought I would do is just kind of give you guys this little update, and then I will go ahead and put in all of the clips that I have filmed here, not in any particular order, just how I filmed them. And like I said, I had really great intentions of doing like days in the life and all of that, but we're here for a limited time, and then we're going back home, and I want to enjoy this time, and I want to make the most of it for my kids while they're here, and just, you know, love on all the people and let all the kids in the house and take my older kids everywhere they want to go to see the people that they want to see. So I'm just trying my best to do both as best as I can, but obviously family is always going to come first. So that's just where we're at right now. I do miss the you know, normality of everything, but we'll get there. I know we will get there, and we're just a few weeks off, and then I'll be sad that all of this is over, because that's how it goes, isn't it? But anyway, I just wanted to kind of give you guys an update and say hello, and I miss you guys, and hopefully you enjoy this put together version of, I guess it's probably going to be more like pieces of a week in my life. It got so humid here after that rain, but I was just sitting out here and I wanted to show you guys that this is the little lake area that they have here at this campground. It's super cute, and they have, I don't know if you guys can see that like big pillow thing. They open that up on the weekends, and you climb up this ladder and you jump off onto the pillow, and you can have two people, so like one can already be sitting on it, and then someone larger jumps last, and it kind of like pops it up, and the other person goes flying into the lake, and it's so much fun. My kids just love it. And then they have all like the fishing docks over here, if you can see that. Our son Lincoln has been fishing every night, every day. He is loving it. He's out with his buddies constantly, and they are catching catfish, and he brought home, I think he brought home 4 of them yesterday, and he's gonna fry those up in some panko. He does that every year when we're here. So it's a super cute little area. It's really fun. Mike brought all the kids to the lake yesterday, and then they just stayed for hours and had so much fun. So I just wanted to show you guys that.
Take me out to California. Take me out to California. The day is coming to an end, and my eyes are drawn to southern skies. And all the while I was trying to pretend the promised land was there beyond the great divide. But I'll be coming home soon. Yeah, I'll be coming home soon. So take me out to California, where the sun is always high, where the streets are paved with gold and no one ever gets old. I'll be longing for that day till you come and take me home. California, California, here I come. I've seen it all upon the silver screen, the happy faces and a sign upon a hill. The wine is flowing and the fields forever green, and all your hopes and dreams will always be fulfilled. So I'll be coming real soon. Yeah, I'll be coming real soon. So take me out to California, where the sun is always high, where the streets are paved with gold and no one ever gets old. I'll be longing for that day till you come and take me home. California, California, here I come. Take me out. So take me out to California, where the sun is always high, where the streets are paved with gold and no one.
Hey man, say hi. What are you here to see? Can you tell us what you're here to see? I'm ready. A parade. This is our group. You guys say hi?
What time is it? What time is it?
I don't know.
Time to get a watch.
Time to get. This is Miss Lydia. How old are you? Are you 6 months? 10 months. No.
What time is it?
Time to get a
10
watch.
months old, you big girl. You're gonna have a birthday soon, aren't you?
Probably, baby.
Say yeah.
Right. Right.
Hey darling, can I tell you what's been on my mind? Sick and tired of the 9 to 5 in the city life. Hey darling, we could get out of town, see the beautiful world around, wanna see it now. Pack our bags and get in that car, leave a little note and we'll drive real far. Let's get out, we can leave this city. Let's drive to the open air. Yeah, the country countryside is so pretty, with the wind blowing in your hair. We can look back someday, baby, don't you understand that we only get one life? I wanna make it count, honey, come on now and take my hand. Hey darling, I love it when it's me and you on the road with a couple of tunes in a car or two. Hey darling, you know we're gonna have a really good time, driving in the middle of the night when the stars are bright.
You guys good helpers?
Yeah.
Alright, we almost mixed up.
Yeah.
Any more whole eggs in there? Any more yolks? Hold the bowl, okay, so you don't spill it.
We can look back someday, baby, don't you understand that we only get one life? I wanna make it count, honey, come on now and take my hand. Let's get out, we can leave this city. Let's drive to the open air. Yeah, the countryside is so pretty, with the wind blowing in your hair. We can look back someday, baby, don't you understand that we only get one life? I wanna make it count, honey, come on now and take my hand. Yeah, we only get one life, I wanna make it count, honey, come on now and take my hand.
Can you just stir it up for us?
Yes, do it up. It has a turmeric.
Good job.
Put the cloves this way.
You my big helper?
You got extra knife.
Have a high five?
Look at this move is sick.
High five. Woo! Good job.
Mommy, I want to do it.
Just wait till you see the last.
Good job, honey.
Is
I'm a
Monroe's
big
got it? Yes, it hits every. I can get Monroe's thing, and since we're 3 out of 3, which means we won't lose any more bounty from killing each other, I could just perform instantly.
You like that?
Yeah.
Does that taste yummy?
Kyle, I'll taste.
And he doesn't.
Our site here, and then we have our tables here at the back because our neighbors next door are our friends from last year, and then the park is just right here, which is awesome. So my big living room windows actually look out to the park, which is great. So if I'm inside doing things, I can see the kids at the park, or they're usually either at the park, the neighbor's house behind me, which I can see from my kitchen living room, or they're right in front under the awning. And then this reminds me, so this, if you're wondering why our window is taped, this is the bunk room window. So when we were driving, hold on. So when we were driving, we were in, woo, too much sun. Okay, I think we were in Minnesota, and I always follow behind Mike in the van. So he has the truck and he pulls the camper, and then I always follow behind him in the van. And Bella and I were in the van driving, and all of a sudden I see something like kind of coming down at us, and it's like, it looks like little black specks, and I hear it hit the van, and it's like, tink, 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 I don't know, like tick, 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 tick. It didn't sound like rocks though, and I was like, that's weird. It almost sounded like glass. So Mike and I use walkie-talkies when we're traveling, and I messaged him, or I called him right away on the walkie-talkie, and I was like, hey, what was that? And he was like, what was what? And I said, oh, I just heard all this like stuff hit the van, and it sounded like glass. And he's like, oh, I don't know, I don't think anything happened. And I was like, okay. And so I said, well, why don't you, when it like opens up, why don't you pull the RV into the other lane, and we'll kind of go on either side of you real quick, because we were like in the middle of nowhere, and that way Bella and I can just kind of check out the windows and make sure that I don't know how to stand so you guys can see me without the sun being directly in my face. Anyway, so I'm like, well, we'll check it out and just see if anything, was broken. And so he did that, and like we both looked, I was on the driver's side, so I looked and she looked, and neither one of us saw anything. So I called him back. I said, yeah, neither one of us see anything. Everything looks fine. So I think it's okay. So we just assumed that maybe like some gravel, he had kicked up some gravel, and that's probably what had hit the van. So we drove like another hour and a half. We made like a normal scheduled stop at like a truck stop. So we were just we pull over, and then we were gonna make lunch and all of that. And when we got out, I heard him say, Kim, come here. And sure enough, the window was shattered. So I'm guessing at some point a car had just passed us when all of this happened. And I think either Mike's truck or something, or the other car kicked up a stone, and it must have just hit that glass just right, and it shattered. So thankfully we were at a truck stop, and they had a big box that we were able to cut down, and we had some tape, because unfortunately this is the second time we broke a window. Neither time was our fault. And so we were able to tape it up. But those windows, they're not super easy to replace. They're custom, obviously, and so we have to order one, wait for it to come in, and then Mike can install it. So we had to do this once before. Actually, it was a very similar situation. We were stopped at a Walmart to have lunch. I had ran in to grab some bread or something, and Mike and the kids were kind of coming in and out, getting like different food and things like that. And there was a huge gust of wind, and it blew this front door open here, and this lock hit the window. I mean, it's a bad design, really, but it flung the door back, and it hit the window, and it just shattered it right there in the Walmart parking lot. We were like, oh my gosh. So anyway, we've been here before. We know what to do. So that, it is what it is. It was just one of those things where it's like, oh my word, like what else can happen here, So that's another thing we have to get fixed. It just constantly feels like it's one thing after another, but that is just the name of the game when you own something, I guess.
Hi, Gigi. Did you wake up from your nap? Hi, baby.
No, she ain't having it.
Oh, say hi.
Oh. Okay, this is our friend Olivia, and she is super crafty. Okay, show us what you're making.
I made a.
You want me to hold this side?
Yeah.
So her little baby sister, she's the oldest of 6, and her little baby sister is having her first birthday party here soon. We're going to do it at the campground, and she made this banner, you guys.
That looks
So
so
cute.
good.
Didn't she do good?
Yes.
And so the theme is wildflowers that we're doing, and she even crocheted all the wildflowers. Is this crochet? No.
That
Or knit?
is embroidery.
Embroidery. Okay, and the rest is
And the rest is
crochet.
crochet.
Okay, see, I'm not that good at this. I learned this like 5 times, but I can't remember how to do it. It's beautiful. Okay, so her family is the one who is actually right next door to us, which is super fun. They're the family that we met last year. And all her siblings. Judy, want to say hi, bud?
Hi.
Are you guys having a party in here?
Yeah.
Yeah. All our siblings, I believe, are in here. Yes. This is our bunk room right now. Everybody say hi to our friends on YouTube. This has been our situation here for the last few days. So especially when it's raining, right, guys? We like to come in here, and we're eating what? All kinds of yummy snacks that Mom got at the discount store, right? So everybody is having a blast. We've had lots and lots of sleepovers, continual sleepovers. Yes, let's make sure we clean up our wrappers, okay, guys?
You came into my life and started a fire.